Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to CyberLink webinar again. I'm Steven. I'll be the instructor today for the 1-hour course. So today our topic will be talking about the new PowerDirector 14. So we have a lot of exciting features to share with you, and we hope you can enjoy watching our webinar today. Okay, so you are using YouTube to watch the webinar right now. So before we start, I want to give you a quick reminder that you can see at the left, at the right side, there's a chat window. So if you're having any questions you want to ask, we are having our staff to stay online to answer your questions, whether it's purchasing issues or technical issues or any questions about the demos. You can find our people supporting there. And the other thing we want to remind that if you think the video quality isn't so good, you can switch it to 720p HD so that you can get a better streaming quality at your site. And if you're facing any freezing or visual freezing or audio freezing issue, you can try refreshing your page. This most time will be helping. All right, and again, I'm Steven. I'll be leading you through today's 1-hour section, and I apologize first. I'm sounding a little bit bad because I'm having a fever today and I'm having a sore throat. So in case I'm not sounding that well, please apologize me first. Okay, let's start today's course. So first thing we want to share with you is the changes for the past decades. So the first version of PowerDirector was introduced to the market in 2001, which is 14 years ago. And until now, it's the 14th version of PowerDirector. And what the video making world was like 14 years ago? So 14 years ago, it's around year 2000 that we can see the digital camcorder become more affordable. So Sony introduced the very first digital camcorder at around 1995, but the price become more affordable around year 2000. So people are able to buy a digital camcorders under $2,000 that most of the family are affordable to buy one to record the daily life of their selves. And in 2005 to 2007, that there are some changes in the video capture device, that the digital cameras and DSLRs, which were only taking photos, are able to take videos as well. So like in year 2007, we see Canon introduced to the market the 5D Mark II, which is the first DSLR being able to capture video. And until now, there are still a lot of commercial video producers using 5D Mark II to record the videos. And in year 2007, there's another device changing the world, which is the introduction of first version of iPhone. So we can see more and more smartphones come into our market in later years, whether it's iOS device or Android device or Windows phone devices. And now they have one thing in common, that all of the devices are capable to record video, and around all of them are able to capture 1080p quality video. And even some of the latest model, like the new iPhone 6s, is able to capture video up to 4K quality. So it's pretty amazing that before you need to take a digital camcorder, the kind of huge device to record video. And now you can record video with a pocketable device like your phone. And yet again, in 2010, we see another type of video capturing device were introduced to the market, which is GoPro action camera. So GoPro introduced their first hero camera in year 2010, and which was a blast in the market. So after that, we can see a lot of other camera makers like Sony or JVC or Panasonic. They are start to producing their action camera. So now that when you are talking about action camera, that everyone, the first thing they'll think about is GoPro. Okay, and the other type of device we see in the market is drones. So drones like DJI, that a vendor from China, they're producing pretty high quality drones, so that you can not only taking the video on the ground, you can also shooting the video from up in the air. So we can see the video capturing device is changed throughout the past 15 years, and the size become more comfortable, compact, and the price are more affordable, and the resolution are getting higher. That before it's only able to capture 480p video, then change to HD 720p, 1080p, and now that some of the devices are able to capture 4K already. And the other important thing is that it's easier to carry, it's easier to do the outdoor use, and especially for cameras like GoPro, it's got a water resistance case so that you can even take it underwater. So you can see the topic of video creation has been changed throughout the years as well. So before we were mainly recording our home video, like the grow up of a baby or wedding video. And when the device become more compact, that people are happy to bring the video capturing device and take videos during their trip. So we can see a lot of travel videos were made. And when after the introduction of GoPro, we can see GoPro actually brings a whole new horizon to the video creators world. That Asian sport has become a growing topic in video creation. So whether you go water diving, you go mountain climbing or surfing, or do mountain biking, or even doing skydiving, all kinds of activities, you can bring a GoPro-like device with you to capture those amazing footage. However, there are still some disadvantage of the action cameras. That, for example, the first thing is that most of this video were taken under extreme environment, so that most of the footage you get are pretty shaky. And the second thing is fisheye distortion. So devices like GoPro, they are having an ultra-wide lens, because they don't have an LCD monitor. Most of the models don't have an LCD monitor, so you cannot see what you have captured. So GoPro gives you an ultra-wide lens to allow you like a blind shooting, that whatever you do, as long as you're pointing to the device you want to shoot, you can capture it. However, this kind of ultra-wide lens always comes with a strong fisheye distortion. So this fisheye distortion, if it's one shot or two shot, it's okay for people. However, if it's a 1 hour long video, then you feel dizzy watching that kind of video. And the third thing we see from action camera footage is the color problem. So most of the action sport camera are shooting in auto mode, which means under some extreme environments, like for example in a snow ground, that when everything's white, then the auto color detection of your camera will think it's too bright, so it will give you underexposure footage. And we see a lot of this case of incorrect color problem from the action camera footage. So that's one thing we see commonly. And the fourth thing and the fifth thing are most of people are not familiar with video editing software, so it's very hard to use it, and the effect created isn't that cool enough. So that's what we want to change and enhance to help people in the new version of PowerDirector 14, including stabilize your action sport footage and doing a one-click lens correction for those ultra-wide lens footage, and doing the color correction for those video with incorrect colors. And we want to make the editing more easy, make the editing easier, and helping people to create the video with cooler effects. So that's what we want to do in PowerDirector 14, that we are introducing 3 new features. One is Action Camera Center, which group whatever you need for action camera footage in one place. And the second one is Motion Tracker, which allows you to track a moving object in your footage and overlay PIP or text following the movement path of the moving object in your video. And the third one is Express Project, which is a new timeline-based template tool that you can easily create professional videos. Okay, so let's start with the introduction of each features. So first, we're talking about the Action Camera Center. So the new Action Camera Center in PowerDirector 14 actually does two things. The first thing is that we mentioned before that most of the action sport footage are with some fault, like it's shaky and the color is not correct and it's got fisheye distortion. So we want to help people to fix it and enhance it. And the second one is the effect, especially the speed effect. So we see usually if you are taking a 10 minutes long action camera footage, there may be only like 30 seconds are the best part. And we want to make slow motion for some good part, and we want to make some fast forward for some not so good part, but we use them as a bridging shot. And for some shot, we think it's really impressive. We want to have a freeze frame and zooming to it. So in the past, it's pretty hard to do this with PowerDirector or other editing software. So we want to enhance the workflow to make it easier to do this kind of speed adjustment in PowerDirector 14. So next, we will quickly show you what the enhancement thing PowerDirector 14's Action Camera Center can do. Okay, so the first one is lens correction. So you can see the left side, the video footage, the side is pretty distorted and strong fisheye effect, while the right side, we're correcting the fisheye effect. Okay, and the second thing is the video stabilizer. So actually, we are having the stabilizer before in PowerDirector already. And this time, we want to make it more accessible if people want to edit the action camera footage. So you can see the right side footage is pretty stabilized. And the third thing we're talking about is white balance correction. So under some environment, like in the restroom, usually the color temperature will be too warm. So the video turns out to be yellow. So we need to correct this kind of problem. And then it's a color preset. The first one is countryside. So some of the footage taken in sunny day, the saturation is not too high. So we want to enhance the color saturation to enhance the blue and green part. And in the snow field, you can see, because everything is white, so mostly your camera will have an underexposure shot. So we want to correct this kind of problem. And the last one is the underwater color preset. That underwater, the color temperature is too cold. So we want to correct that to make things not looking so blue all the time. All right, so that's what the Action Camera Center's fix and enhancement can do. So now let's go to PowerDirector's main interface. And before we start it, because some of you are first time using PowerDirector, so I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what the UI is like. So the first part you see at the right side, this is the media room where you put all your video, photos, and music content at. You can drag and drop and import the resources you want. And you can also find a different tab to switch whether you want a video effect, particles, or PIP, or titles, or transitions in the left side to switch between panels. And the right side is a preview window which can show you the real-time result when you're producing and editing a video. Okay, and the bottom side you can see here is a timeline interface of PowerDirector, where it's like a working desktop of your video editing software. So you can overlaying all kind of different elements, adjusting the size and overlaying the music following this timeline interface. Okay, and if you got further problems or questions using timeline interface, you can go to our learning centers to find more tutorials. All right, so let's start with using the Action Camera Center. So there are two different ways to launch Action Camera Center. The first way is select a media room item, then click on this Jigsaw puzzle, this plugin icon. Then you can see an Action Camera Center menu shows up where you can enter it. Well, the other way is that if you already got this item on your timeline, you can select it and go to Tools and select the Action Camera Center here. Then you will be bringing to Action Camera Center's interface. Okay, so we can see at the top there are two different menus. The first one is Fix. So the Fix module includes lens correction, video stabilizer, white balance, and color preset, which are commonly problems for action camera center with what you want to fix. So first, let's take a look at the lens correction part. So you can see in this GoPro footage that the edges of the video are with a very strong fisheye distortion. So how to enhance that? You can take on the lens correction, where you can select the maker of your camera and the model. So for example, if the model is GoPro Hero 3, you can select them all, then you are done. So this is the corrected result. I'll give you a quick comparison. This is before, and this is after. So you can see the fisheye distortion problem is resolved with one click. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. And if you want to download more lens profile preset, you can go to directorzone.com by clicking this download button to get more lens profile preset from Director Zone. And we are now having more than 10 camera makers and more than 20 models available built-in inside of PowerDirector. And we'll be publishing the new lens profile presets in Director Zone in the future. And also we'll include these new presets in future patches of PowerDirector. Okay, and the second thing the Action Camera Center can do is to stabilize video. So it's pretty simple that you can tick on the video stabilizer, and you can select the strength of your stabilizer, and you can choose to fix a rotation type of camera shake, which when your hands is shaking in circle. And also we have another stabilizer, it's an enhanced stabilizer, that also help you to enhance the multi-axis like a front to back and left to right, top to down, all type of stabilization. So you can choose the stabilization here by enable the video stabilizer module. Okay, and the second thing we want to show is how to do the color balance, the white color balance. Sorry, the white balance thing. Okay, so you can find the third menu is about white balance, where you can manually change your color temperature and tint, or you can use the white collaboration that you can select any part on your video where it was supposed to be white. Like this part, it's looks pink and in skin color and in the original video, so you can select it and make it white. So you can see right away that the right side of the video is corrected, where you can get the instant white balance correction with this white balance tool. So this is before, yellow, and after, it's white. All right, then the next thing we're going to show you is using of color preset. So we are grouping some of the commonly used, frequently used sports preset in this color preset panel. And here we're having a countryside preset that you can select it, click on it. So you can see right away the sky has become more blue and the trees have become more green, right, enhancing the the color saturation of this video. Because usually if you're taking the video under sunny day, that it will more or less overexposure. So the video will be looking pretty pale. So you can use this kind of preset to change it, to enhance it. So I show you this is before and after. Okay. And the next footage we'll show you is in the snow field. So you can see like this video here, it's taken in snow field that it's not looking that good because the lighting condition isn't good, that is looking too dark because it's under exposure. So you can select the color preset and click on snow field. So you can see we instantly enhance that. So you get a better quality footage with this snow field color preset. Okay, and the last one is underwater. So you can see the original footage here, because underwater everything seems so blue. So you can see the back of the sea turtle is supposed to be brown, but it's looking like not so good color right now. So you can select the color preset and apply the underwater preset to it. So you can see the brown part is standing out right now, and at the same time we are enhancing the the underwater color, the green and the blue part are being enhanced together with this preset. So it's very easy and very fast. If you want to quickly enhance this footage, you can choose from the sports preset. And also you can access to all the other default preset in the default preset panel to apply different preset to your video. Or you can go to ColorDirector. If you have ColorDirector in your PC, you can further edit that, adjust it in detail with ColorDirector. Or if you want to download more preset, you can also go to downloaded preset that you downloaded from Director Zone. So that's the demonstration of Action Camera Center's fixed and enhanced module. And the next thing we want to show you is speed effect, how to do a speed effect with PowerDirector 14. So let's take a look at the demo video. So see the original video taking in regular speed. It's good, but it's lack of highlight. I want to highlight some part with slow motion, or I want to highlight some action with repeat, or I want to zoom in somehow. So you can use Action Camera Center to do this kind of fast forward, slow motion, and repeat plus slow motion. And also like this kind of freeze frame plus zooming. Okay, so how to do this with PowerDirector? Let me show you. Okay, if you're using older version of PowerDirector, the thing you need to do to create that kind of footage is that you actually need to split your original footage in many different fragments like this. So some of them are with faster, some of them are with slow motion. And for that kind of repeat effect, you need to split one section, copy and paste, and copy and paste, plus applying speed effect. And if you want to have this kind of zooming effect, that you need to capture a frame and use a PIP designer to control the zoom in, zoom out of that. So even if you are pretty skillful, you probably need to take 20 to 30 minutes to adjust this single footage, which is quite time consuming. So we'll show you how to do this speed effect with PowerDirector's Action Camera Center. Okay, so upon launching the Action Camera Center, you can see the second tab is called Effect. Okay, where you can find replay and speed or freeze frame under this main menu. Okay, so first I want to show you two different timeline keyframe attributions of Action Camera Center. The first one is time shift. So time shift means specific duration of time where you want to adjust the speed effect over it. So whether you can make it faster or make it slower, or I want to do repeat or reverse effect in that time duration. And the second keyframe attribution is freeze frame. So freeze frame means it's a frame, it's a single frame in your video, and you want to freeze it and doing some zoom in or zoom out effect with that. So that's a freeze frame. So let me quickly show you the first one. If I want to create a time shift and change the video speed, you can click on Create Time Shift and drag it to the duration you want. Then if, for example, I want to make it faster, I can click on the speed effect and make it 10 times faster. Okay, and for this leaping part, I want to create another time shift. I want the super slow motion to the video. So I can apply the speed effect and make it slower, 25%. And for this part, when the guy is doing a bridging, I can add another time shift. And I can apply replay for 2 times here, and make the third time having a slow motion. So it's like this, that replay for 2 times and the slow motion for the third time at 1/4 speed. Then lastly, when he's leaping here, I want to create a freeze frame. I can add a freeze frame. Then I want it to zoom into a specific part, so I can click on apply zoom effect. Then I can drag this preview window to the part I want. I can resize it even like this. Okay, so that's done already. So let's take a look at the final produced result. So here's a fast forward plus slow motion. Then repeat once, twice, slow motion. Then zooming. So you can see it's done already. I only take like 1 minute to finish all this text. That it usually took me like 20 or 30 minutes before when I'm using PowerDirector older version. So it's actually very easy and simple to do this kind of speed adjustment effect. So excuse me. So it's not only applying to your action camera footage of action sport. You can also use this kind of technique in your travel videos. Okay, so that's the demo for the first one, the action camera centers speed effect. Then the second one we want to show, the second demo we want to show is a motion tracker. So motion tracker in PowerDirector 14 is to track a moving object, for example, a people or a vehicle in your video. And we can use a motion tracker to track its motion path. Then overlay object, whether it's video or a PIB image or a text, or even or even video effect following the movement of the moving object in your video. So here we'll quickly show you how the result will be looking like. So you can see the original video don't have any effects, and adding a motion tracker and to add a M graphic and the name tag following the movement of the skateboarder. So let's see how to do this. So to use a motion tracker in PowerDirector, I see some of you are asking a question previously on the chat room. So you can select the clip and go to Tools, where you can find the motion tracker menu shows up here. Click it to enter the motion tracker interface. So upon launching, you will see this track window where you can resize it to the portion you want on your video. Then click on check. Then we will start to following the movement of the people in this video. Okay, when the tracking is done, you can do one thing, is that adding an effect following it. So for example, I want to add the highlight effect. I want to add a spotlight effect above the skateboarder. I can add it like this. It can be a spotlight or a mosaic, either way. You can also change the color of the spotlight like this. Okay, and the good thing about the motion tracker is that you can actually apply several motion trackings in one video footage. So you can copy a tracker by right-clicking on the first tracker. And for example, I want to add a graphic. I can import a graphic here. resize it following the movement. And again, I can copy it again or to add another item, which is a name tag. Okay, and last one, I want to add his name. So I can copy again, add the text. And change the color of the text like this and resize it. So that's done. So let's see how the end result looks like. Okay, pretty cool. So you can even rename each track. For example, I want this to be spotlight. I want this to be okay, and when everything is done, you can bring it back to timeline, where you can see each different object will be added to timeline. Either it's a PIP image or name. So that's pretty easy to do the motion tracking with a new PowerDirector 14. So that's the demonstration of a motion tracker. Then next, we're going to show you a new template-based tool in PowerDirector 14. So you might ask that we already have a lot of template-based tool in previous version of PowerDirector 14. Why we need to introduce a new one? Because we already have something like a slideshow creator, where you can put together all your photos and merge them to slideshows with your own music. And we have a Magic Movie Wizard, where you can also still use your photo, but the themes are better looking. They are 3D animated themes. And in PowerDirector 12, we introduced the first version of Theme Designer, where you can use a mixture of videos and photo in your project, and you can have more customization like the text, and you can create the 3D animated type of video from many different themes. Then why we need a new theme-based, template-based tool? Because above 3 tools, they are not fully utilized the timeline interface. So when you're using this designer tool, the things you get will be a timeline object, but you cannot do any detailed things like applying a transition between clips or overlaying a single text on a single shot, a specific shot, etc. So it's not that easy to use. I mean, it's not that fully utilize the timeline-based interface. So that's why we're being asked by the users, and we created a new feature called the Express Project, which is a template-based tool. However, it's using the timeline interface of PowerDirector. So using the Express Project is simple. That there are only 3 steps. The first step is choose a template. So we are categorizing this template by theme and by segment. So the theme can be travel, can be adventure, can be sports, or can be romance, etc. And the segments, we have opening, we have a middle part, and we have ending. So you can freely mixture different segments from different theme packs and compose them to just by dragging and drop them, these template segments to your timeline. Then after adding it to your timeline, you can quickly replace your media with the pre-configured media items on the Express project. So I'll quickly show you what the final result will look like from Express project. So you can see we got a pretty nice looking opening and some customized text with some blur effect and slow-mo effects and this kind of a split screen and more fancy PIP objects and some particle effects Okay, so in the past, if you want to create this kind of effect with PowerDirector, it probably will take a pretty long time for you to create everything from scratch. So that's why we are introducing the Express project. So to access to Express project is pretty easy. You can go to your media content where you can see Express project is showing up here. Okay, and select it. You'll see a lot of templates are showing here. So there are some things like adventure, like anniversary, it's a romance template, or like love or extreme sports, action, etc. So to use it, you simply need to drag and drop it to your timeline. So for example, I want the opening like this one. Okay, so I can put it to timeline. And I want to add another middle part and ending part of the videos. I can add the middle here, and I can drag and drop a nice ending to the project as well. All right, so now you can see the object will being drag and dropped to the template, and there are a lot of numbers showing up on your timeline. So the next thing you do is go back to your media content and drag and drop to replace the item on your timeline. Okay, then you can see the timeline object will being replaced. So let's see how it look like. You can see here's the opening and some instant cuts and some PIP plus effects, transitions, and more transitions and some text and particle effects. Okay, so it's pretty easy to use the Express project. So you can see everything is presented as a timeline object on the video. So if you want to replace it, drag and drop to replace it again. Place this media content. And if you want to customize text of a single shot, you can double click the text to edit it. And also you can enter the particle room if it's a particle, you want to edit it. So it won't take you too long time to select these shots, select these templates, then just select them, insert to timeline, and replace it. Then you can export a pretty nicely looking video in pretty short time. So that's a beauty about the Express project. So we got already more than around 20 segments of Express project built into PowerDirector 14. And in the future, we'll be releasing the new templates on Director Zone. So you can also go back to directorzone.com to check some new templates. All right. Then let me close this. Okay. And the next thing we'll show you is Multicam. I know it's not a new feature here because we are having a Multicam editing 2 versions ago, but there are still a lot of you are asking us how to use the Multicam editing, how to use it. So we will have a section talking about Multicam. And Multicam also is a very good way to edit the action camera or sports footage. So now that in PowerDirector, we have 2 different types of Multicam editing tool. The first one is called Multicam Designer, which allows you to doing this live simulation for the shot from 4 cameras. So there will be, if you're having 4 stream, you can only having 1 stream at one time in a specific duration. So it's like when you're seeing TV broadcasting, you're switching between camera 1 to 4, you're switching between them. So that's the Multicam Designer. And the second thing is that if you want to create a Multicam collage or Multicam TV wall, then you will need the Multicam audio sync feature. So it's basing on PowerDirector's timeline interface. So we're supporting up to 100 tracks of timeline. So the Multicam audio sync allows you to sync up the audio from 100 tracks. So you can sync the footage, then use a PIP tool to adjust the size to create a multicam TV wall. So let me show you how to use this. Okay, so here I'm having some footage record from different angles. So to launch the Multicam Designer Room, you can click on the plugin icon, then select Multicam Designer, where you can enter the Multicam interface. Okay, so now you'll see the 4 streams are represented in 4 different windows. So the first thing we want to do is do an audio sync, because all these footage are not recorded starting at the same time. So you can select audio analysis and click on apply. Okay, so you see now the footage are being realigned based on the audio tracks. So next, we will show you how to record this footage. So to start recording a multicam footage, you click the record button. You can see it's starting to recording. Then you can use the number key on your PC to switch between different shots by pressing 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 3, and 2. Okay, for example, like this. Now I can click stop. Click the record button again to stop it. So let's see how it will be looking like. You see we are pretty easy to switch in between these different shots. Okay, and you can also readjust the size, the duration of each footage, like by dragging and drop here. It's pretty similar to the timeline attribution in PowerDirector. And you can select on one clip to change it to other cameras like this. So once it's done, you can click OK. Then you will bring back this kind of multicam objects on your timeline. Okay, so this is the first way to use the multicam editing tool. Then the second thing we're showing you is how to use the timelines audio sync. So drag and drop your footage to the timeline. Okay, now I'm having 4 clips. Select them all, and you will see a sync by audio button showing up here. Click on it for doing the audio analysis. And by the way, the PC I'm demoing right now is using an Intel Ultrabook, so it's actually not that super fast PC. You can see the performance of PowerDirector is already good. So now you see the footage are being synchronized based on the audio tracks. All right. So now that if we want to create a multicam TV wall, then I can go to each frame and resize it. Then here you go, multicam TV wall collage. And if you want more precise editing, like adjusting the movement of each frame during movement, you can go using the PIP Designer tool. And it's a bit complicated, so I will not cover in today's demonstration. So these are the 2 ways to use multicam editing in PowerDirector 15. In PowerDirector 14. So the first one is Multicam Designer, and the second one is 100-track audio sync on timeline. All right, and the next thing is a new feature we want to show you is a screen recorder of PowerDirector. So we finally get this widget in PowerDirector, which allows you to record full screen, or record a specific app, record a specific area on your PC, and you can assign the aspect ratio of your exported video. And also you can track the mouse clicks by adding the mouse click icons. Clicking the mouse click icon, and you can assign a different color to it. Then you can record. Okay, so I'll show you how to launch the screen recorder. So the first way is to go to all installed apps. Then you will find an app called CyberLink Screen Recorder. It's been installed alongside with PowerDirector 14, where you can launch it. And the second way to launch a screen recorder is that you can launch it right inside of a PowerDirector. You can find it under the capture module. Then you will see here's a screen recording icon. Click it, you launch this screen recorder interface. Then you can use it to record. And I'm not going to go through very detail about the recording process. You can go to our Learning Center to find a screen recorder tutorial of how to use it. And one of the good things about launching the screen recorder inside of the PowerDirector is that after recording the video, if you close it, you can click the edit side. Then you can send the recorded footage right back to PowerDirector's timeline, where if you want to add more things like a PIP text or a more PIP control, the size control, etc. So that's pretty easy and pretty simple way to record your video in full screen. All right, then next we'll show you the speed of PowerDirector. So it's still now rated as the fastest consumer video editing software in the market compared to all the other competitors. And this version, we enhanced the True Velocity 5 rendering engine. And again, it's 64-bit OpenCL and multi-GPU GPU support. And we enhance a lot on the H.265 encoding and decoding. And also we are enhancing, again, the SVRT2 version 4, which also supports MPEG-4 video and H.265 video encoding. So that's the speed part of PowerDirector. And for the hardware acceleration, still we are supporting like the district card from AMD and NVIDIA, and also supporting the latest version of Intel's HD graphic and Intel's Core i CPU. So like the demo device I'm using today is running a 5th generation of Core i ultra low voltage i5 CPU. So you can see the demo is somehow pretty smooth. Like some of you are mentioning, the audio sync is pretty fast. Okay, and talking about the format and codec. So again, PowerDirector 14 supports the latest format like 4K Ultra HD, H.265, AVC HD 2.0, XAVCS, this newer standard. And in this version, we enhance a lot for the high frame rate video support. So we are enhancing the encoding and decoding quality of 120 and 240 frames videos in MPEG-4 format. So before, if you're using other software or using older version of PowerDirector, and when you are attempting to import like 120 frames video taken from your iPhone, then the preview quality won't be so good. But this version, we enhance the preview quality a lot. And also, we are not only allow you to import, we also allow you to export the video at 120 and 240 frames. Okay, so that's enhancement on the format and codec. Then next, we will talking about the companion company software and PowerDirector family. So we are having PowerDirector as a main video editor, and we are having another software called AudioDirector, which is an audio editing tool that you can do a few things like eliminate the noise inside of your video, or to apply some sound effect, or adding or doing the multi-track audio mixing, like the live band recording. You can use AudioDirector. And ColorDirector is a color grading, color correction tool that you can use it to adjust the color in your video. So we see the color preset demo before. So it's basically made by ColorDirector. So you can, if you have a ColorDirector, you can also have further adjustment, like doing detail adjustment on saturation, replace single color, or using motion tracker to track a specific area of your video, then change your color, like change a white t-shirt to blue t-shirt, or like, or even you can apply things like a gradient mask to heal certain part of your video by gradient mask. That's ColorDirector. And PhotoDirector, I think most of you already know it. It's a photo editing software. And in this new version of PhotoDirector 7, we are supporting layer, but due to the time limitation, we're not talking too much about the layer today. And also, like when integrating with video editing workflow, you can do things like if you're having a photo in your video project and you want to remove a background, then you can pass it to PhotoDirector, then using the background removal tool to remove it, then send back to PowerDirector as a transparent background PNG file that you can use it as a PIP object in your video. So talking about round-trip editing, what is it? So it's a capability to transfer the working files between PowerDirector and other 3 apps. So for example, there's one clip I'm editing with bad audio, so I can send that audio, that video clip right to AudioDirector to do audio editing, then send it back to PowerDirector. And if I got the color problem of a specific clip, I can pass it to ColorDirector, do the adjustment, and send it back to PowerDirector. And same thing for the photo. And the good thing is that during this process, I don't need to do any rendering. For example, the color graded video, you don't need to render in ColorDirector. You can pass it right back to PowerDirector, then render everything together when you are producing the video in final steps. So you can see it's removing the redundant workload by rendering the video for 2 times into one single workflow. So it's pretty effective that if you are a user of Director Suite or PowerDirector Ultimate Suite. Okay, so here's one interesting new feature we want to show you in AudioDirector 6, which is the automated dialogue alignment feature. So picture this, that you are going out for outdoor shot, but there are some kids screaming, there's some wind sound that you are not happy with the sound you recorded when you are having a shot outdoor. So when you go back home, you want to doing the redub. You can re-record a cleaner voice. However, because some of you are not a professional redubber, so you probably cannot match the tempo or the pitch that perfectly. So in this case, we need some tools to help realign and synchronize the newly recorded audio track to mapping it to the original video. So that's what the AudioDirector's automated dialogue alignment is doing. It's matching the sound pattern of the original video and the newly recorded audio, and then stretch and adjust the tempo of the audio track to let it match the original videos soundtrack. All right, then let me show you how this is done, how to use this. Okay, launching AudioDirector. So you can see here already having 2 clips being imported to AudioDirector. So let's see the original video I recorded.
Now we're going to give a brief demonstration of the automated dialogue alignment features in AudioDirector 6. Automated dialogue alignment is perfect for redubbing a voice track when the original video was shot in a noisy environment, such as this one.
Okay, so we record this video in CyberLink's lobby during lunchtime, so a lot of people are walking by. It's not sound that good, a lot of noise. So we come back to studio and we record a new track. Sound like this.
Now, we're going to give a brief demonstration of the automated dialogue alignment features in AudioDirector 6. Automated dialogue alignment is perfect for redubbing a voice track when the original video was shot in a noisy environment, such as this one.
Okay, so you can hear the newly recorded track is cleaner. However, the pen tempo doesn't match. So if you mix them together,
Now we're going to give a brief demonstration of the automated dialogue.
Well, it's a mess. Then now the thing I want to do is that I want to use this newly recorded track to replace the audio track in the first one. So I can select these two tracks. You can see originally the web phone is different. You can select them too. Then click on this audio alignment button. So I can choose the base clip is an MPEG-4 video I had. And the target clip is a redub clean voice. I want it to doing the alignment. Click on apply. So you see the waveform is now mapping with above 1. Okay. So now let's hear what's the final result.
Now, we're going to do a brief demonstration of the automated dialogue alignment features in AudioDirector 6. Automated dialogue alignment is perfect for redubbing a voice track when the original video was shot in a noisy environment, such as this one.
Okay, it's pretty easy, right? So you can see the waveform of the second clip. The newly redubbed clip is now rematching to the waveform of the original one. That the newly audio, we stretch it a bit. And when we stretch it, sometimes the tempo is faster. I need to make it slower. And when it's slower, the sound will sound deeper. The pitch will be lower. So in the same time, AudioDirector is adjusting the pitch of the newly the adjusted soundtrack to make the pitch a little bit higher to match the original tone of the video. So actually, AudioDirector is quite busy doing a lot of different things to have the newly recorded audio track mapping the lip movement of the video track. So this is useful when you're to resolving some noisy problem for your outdoor shot, that you can always come back to your studio and re-record a cleaner voice with a better microphone. All right, so this is the AudioDirector's demo. Then next, we'll show you the PowerDirector Android. So some of you, if you're using PowerDirector for years, you probably have used the bundle version of PowerDirector. And in this version, we changed it a lot. The first thing is become a free software. So we no longer bundle it with PowerDirector. So you can get it now for free on Android App Store. And we do not have iOS version for now and not planning to do it in the short time anyway. Okay, so you can find the PowerDirector Android app on Android App Store. And PowerDirector Android is a timeline-based video editing software that you can drag and drop your video clips on your timeline. And we're having a lot of building video effects and the titles, and a lot of nice tools like a speed adjustment tool or rotation tool or flip tool. And after creating, you can upload the produced video right away to YouTube or Facebook to share with your friend. Or the other way is that you can upload the project to your CyberLink cloud. Then you can come back home to edit the video project again with your PowerDirector on PC. So I'll give you a quick demo of PowerDirector Android app. Okay, upon launching PowerDirector's Android's main interface, you can see here's a gallery. So if you already have a lot of different projects, it'll be showing up here. And if not, you can click on this icon or click on creating a new project to create a new project in PowerDirector Android. So where you can see the videos in your camera roll will be showing in one tab, and the photos in your camera roll will show in the second one. And the third tab will be the music on your phone will be showing here. So to use a timeline, to edit object to timeline is easy. You can go to your camera roll to choose a clip, select it, then click the plus sign, then you'll be added to timeline. So the same way you can add more and more clips onto the timeline. You can drag it around to see the different part of your video. Okay, and also you can add titles to your video, like go to titles room, then select the title, add it to timeline. Then you can click on it, click the edit sign to edit the text. For example, I want to type, it's Ximen and Taipei. Okay, this is one very famous area in Taipei for sightseeing, and a lot of tourists love to come. So I can drag and drop to resize the text and the position, and then click Edit if I want to change the font face. And I can also change the color of the text. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, that's cool. Then if you want to make the clip shorter, you can click on it and drag the two sides, just like what you use on PowerDirector to trim it. And if you want to apply video effect, you can go to the effect room and select an effect, for example, like this TV simulator, then edit. Then you'll be edited to this clip. And we also have a lot of nicely used editing tools, like you can mute the sound of a clip by clicking the audio configuration. And you can adjust the speed by using this speed tool. Okay, so now I'm making it slower to a slow motion video, like this. Pretty cool. And I can also do things like rotate the video. If you're shooting the video in an horizontal shot, you can rotate it by 90 degrees, like this. Or you can flip it horizontally, like this. And when everything is done, you want to export it, you can save the project, or you can choose to produce a video where you can share or produce in video file format or share on Facebook or YouTube. And you can also select different output options like Full HD, HD, or SD at 480p. Okay, and another tool is to use a CyberLink Cloud, that if you are an existing PowerDirector user, you can you can apply a CyberLink Cloud account, then upload it to CyberLink Cloud from your mobile device. And when you're going back home, you can download the file from the project file from CyberLink Cloud, and you can continue editing with your desktop versions PowerDirector. All right, that's pretty much it. So a quick summary for today's course. So today we talk about the new Action Camera Center, which group all the features you need for action camera footage, like the fix and enhance and speed effect. And a motion tracker, which allows you to track a moving object in your video. And also the Express project that you can use it to quickly create professional looking video. And we are having the 100-track multicam editing in this version, and having a newly version of True Velocity 5 with more enhancement on the H.265 and high frame rate videos. So that's pretty much is the update for PowerDirector 14. So I hope you like today's presentation and enjoy the product.